Yeah, we are 16 into it. Feels though we're a little over halfway, because we throw into a game week, and so it really feels though we got one more week of camp, and then we'll be into game week. I think probably the number one thing that I would say about our football team is that there's just a more maturity to it. I mean, guys have just grown up. We have a larger senior class. They're doing a good job of leading and setting the tone, and they're focused on getting better. I've had a lot of positive things happen in the last 13 or 16 practices. But I don't feel as though we're going to be a team that's going to have that, roller coaster of emotions. You play well and then you play bad, and then you get mad that you played bad and so you play well. I think we'll be a little bit more even-keeled in that way. I think that we have some solid depth that we're still bringing along. You need it, in these seasons, and so I think that we've developed that well, but just still feels as though there's a lot to do. But love the team, really do, and we're excited.
Initial questions for Coach Creighton.
You said you've matured. How do you have examples of guys who have stepped up and done things to be more mature?
Yeah, I would just tell you that our practice demeanor, our meetings, how we're prepared, how we're handling those things, it's not. We're far less chippy. We're far less emotional. There's passion, but it's not, just raw emotion. Don't feel as though that, the offense and the defense are combative against each other. It's intense and competitive, as it should be, but everybody gets the fact that we're a team and that we're trying to get better. Those, to me, are signs of a team that is mature. Out of 16 practice opportunities, I can't say that we're 16 for 16 in terms of, the first 10 minutes of each opportunity haven't been just perfect. But again, it's not been this cascading roller coaster of, good practice, bad practice. It's been the guys have come to work. And I think that takes a maturity and a focus, to get to that spot. Done a great job, our upperclassmen, of bringing the younger guys along. Those would be all examples, I think, of maturity.
Follow-up for that, any examples of some bad habits no longer happening in practice that might have happened your first year here? And then are there any guys who have stepped up and kind of took charge and said, no, this is how we do things at Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I'm not going to give like a specific, but I used the word combative earlier. To me, that is, guys losing their cool and so inwardly focused and whatnot that the task at hand is getting lost. If you asked any of our guys right now, have practices been intense? Have scrimmages been intense? Can you be more intense? The answer is probably always yes to that, but if you understand what I'm saying. But we haven't been combative. It hasn't been where we're losing sight of the reason that we're out there. We're not losing sight of the fact that we're all on the same team. That's been a necessary maturation process. And again, we're not perfect. 16 practice opportunities, hitting the same people and going 2-a-day, and it's been warm, this camp. So it's not that we haven't had tempers flare and whatnot, but, that would be my example of that, is that it's been competitive more than combative. Guys haven't lost their cool like we have in the past.
And with what happened in April with the faculty saying the program should be shut down, how have you guys navigated those waters over the summer and keeping guys bought into the program and saying, no, we're going to be fine, we're going to do things our way?
We've told the truth. It's pretty simple, pretty simple. To anybody can say anything that they want. Doesn't mean it's true. The truth is, this program's not going anywhere but up. And there's been, to be honest with you, it's helped us in a lot of ways with the support that we've gotten, both from the administration and from alumni and folks that love Eastern Michigan football. It's been awesome. So we just told the truth. We're doing what we're doing. Our guys, internally, we know the truth. And, in terms of recruiting and whatnot, the sensationalism of the truth is not as sensational as something that's not going to happen. And so combating that, we can't control that. We don't control what people say. We don't control follow-up stories. But whenever we get the opportunity, we tell the truth.
Has anything changed in how you guys approach practice or with the guys or anything after that news happened? The faculty was upset?
Not at all.
Has
No.
it changed in recruiting or anything if recruits asked you about it?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's going to be recruits that when they're sitting at the dinner table and they're trying to figure out, which camp they're going to or, which games are going to go to this fall. When it gets to that serious point, and Eastern Michigan's a place that they've, been in love with and have built relationships, of course they ask those questions. Heather Like, our athletic director, our former interim president, our current president, the board of directors, they couldn't have been stronger and more emphatic in their response to, the statements that were made in April. And so, we share those with recruits, and the administration has been very helpful when they've had the opportunity to be able to address it themselves. So.
And to put a bow on this conversation here, you said you got a lot of support from alumni and the administration and stuff. Does that kind of help you figure out who's on your side now? Like, does that help?
We're all Eastern Michigan. It's not sides, I don't look at it that way at all. I really don't. It's just, if something was said about my alma mater, I might be writing a letter or a phone call that I wouldn't ordinarily have written or called. Doesn't mean that I didn't care. I love that place. But, when something comes up, you help address it. And so we've just had great support from people who love this place and believe in it. And we've had that, to be honest with you, and I've experienced that in the 2.5 years. It's been the response, though, to that riffraff in April from alumni has been awesome. People love this school, and people love this football program. Guys put 4 and 5 years into it, and playing college football. There's life-changing values, lessons, teammates, discipline, commitment, teamwork, overcoming adversity. It changes you. We're all alumni of different schools and whatnot, and your love doesn't go away. And so it's been an opportunity for people to pick up the phone or write an email or a letter and, let the current guys and our staff know that they believe in Eastern Michigan football and love it and want us to be successful. So it's been good. I wish the recruits could hear our alumni talk. You know what I mean?
Going away from that conversation, what are your goals for towards the end of the year? How do you want to end this season?
Well, our season goals are crystal clear, and our seniors really back in January started working on this. I'm not kidding you. Getting together in a conference room and starting to talk about our season goals last January. And it was, I think, the second night in camp, Sunday night, where they got up in front of the team and talked about what our season goals are. And they are this: to go to and to win a bowl game. They then gave us, the necessary steps, if you will, in order to get there, and that is to go 1-0 in everything that we're doing. Like today's scrimmage is over, and so we'll look at that as was an opportunity to go 1-0 today. And whether it went well or not, the next thing that we do, we want to be 1-0. We want to win each rep. We want to win the series. We want to win the practice. We want to win the day. We want to win that week. And so they've done a great job of saying, hey, this is where we're going, and this is what we're doing. And it's not that we shelf that, but we're not going to be talking about that all the time. We're then going to focus on what's going to get us there. And that is reaching our full potential by going 1-0 in everything that we do. And they've not only done a great job of articulating that, but I think they've done a really good job of leading that and living that. And that's tough, there's times where it takes a little bit of time to get over something, whether it was positive or negative. But all great teams, all great competitors have that ability to flush whatever just happened right? You want to try to learn from it when that time's right, but you flush it and then you move on to the next thing. And again, that's part of the maturity that I've talked about that I feel as though this team has really shown great signs of.
Well, I guess I look from year to year, and I think from year 1 to year 2, it just became a much better understanding of what we were trying to accomplish, and then just knowing the offense. This year we've got a lot of new faces, especially at the skill positions at receiver right now that we're working in, and so I think because the coaching staff has been there's a lot of continuity within the group. All of us are in our 3rd year. We've been able to get the information to all of our new guys, and even though they are new, they're learning it pretty quickly. And I think you saw a big jump from week 1 to week 2, and those guys just really understand the offense, especially at the receiver position.
Are there guys you're excited about in camp right now?
Yeah, there are. I think in the passing game is a big area where we wanted to improve from last year to this year. We had a good downhill running game, and of course D-Jack, who's with the Cowboys, is a big part of that. But we count on Shaq and Ian Erickson and the rest of the crew there to give us the run game. I think what we felt we needed to do is improve the pass game, be able to open up the defense and spread them out and get something out of it, as well as the play action game down the field. If you run the ball successfully, you should be able to get the ball down the field. And that receiver, we're getting some pretty good competition, and guys are fighting, scrapping, and doing everything they can to win their spot on the starting lineup. There's a good mix of returners that really haven't been on the field much, along with really we brought 3 transfers in the summer that have really kind of spiced things up and got it pretty competitive.
Well, let's talk about the transfers. Anyone specific you want to talk about?
Yeah, all 3 of our receivers that are new are running with the 1s and 2s, and it's all competing with the rest of them. Johnny Newplow is how you say his name. Johnny's done a great job. Just a very physical, sure-handed guy that just never gonna question his effort. And he's gonna come in and hit some safeties and block some guys. And when you need to have him catch the football, he's gonna catch it every time. Our slot, who's really done a nice job, is Antoine Porter, doing a really good job, and he's tough to defend one-on-one. And then on the other side, we have Sergio Bailey, who's got some pretty good speed. And has good hands. And, those 3 guys have just really added to the room that we already had, with Eddie Doherty and Lamar Harris and the rest of the group there, Isaiah. So we got a good group. It's very competitive, and that's what you need.
You think Shaq is going to be ready to take that lead role as the lead back?
Yeah, I hope so. He was a pretty good one for us last year, and he just carries himself so well. I think he prepares himself well, and we need him to be that. But we also, aren't just going to count on him. We got a good platoon of backs there with Ian Erickson, now in his 3rd year in the program. He's really, understanding the offense well, and he's a good combination of just, hard nosed and just scrappy running, along with the ability to make a guy miss out in space when things break down. Breck Turner's a redshirt last year, that would be a freshman this year, and we like what he's been a little bit limited in practice, but he has shown the signs and ability to break plays and has good speed out in open space. And then Blake Banham's kind of our utility guy that really is fighting for the number 2 spot at running back. But we can use him out in the passing game, and we've done a lot of different things with him over the last year as well.
Have you noticed a lot of improvement from Brogan over the past couple years, right?
Yeah. So the big thing with Brogan is his completion percentage, and that goes for all our quarterbacks. This is the first year we've had 4 quarterbacks on scholarship, and that position's getting more competitive now too. And the thing I really seen with Brogan, he's just always just really calm. We were in a meeting the other day, and we talked about 2-minute, and Coach Creighton said, you gotta hustle the line of scrimmage, but then you need to be under control, and that's Brogan to a T right there. He's under control and just able to sort things out, what he's seeing, understand his personnel, and then of course run the scheme or concept that we're we're executing. So, but his completion percentage and just his ability to not just throw the ball hard, because he's got a cannon for an arm, but the ability to find a way to complete a pass, is really improved.
Fall camp then on the
It's been good. I thought the spring went well, but a lot of growing pains in the spring, and I think our guys had a good summer. They worked hard, and they improved. There's a lot of guys that made big jumps in the summer, and some of that's weight room stuff, some of that's film, some of that's their workouts they do on their own as far as football. I just think we had a good summer with some of those guys, and the second go round with it has been a lot easier.
Talking with Luke McLean just the other day, he said one thing that's nice this year was just the ability to have other guys back. Last year you were limited on defensive linemen. Sometimes those guys were having to play almost every defensive snap. That's going to help a little too, just having guys back.
Yeah, we've got some depth that we like up front right now, and trying to sort that out and figure out who our top dogs are. But we'll play a lot of guys up front. We'll be able to do that, and I think that's essential in today's football, that you can roll in a couple of groups, because it's a tough game when it's that fast for big guys.
So most of you feel pretty good bringing back a couple big veteran Pat O'Connor, while also getting Jeremiah Harris back in the mix.
Yeah, really. Pat's a great kid, great player, brings a lot on the field and off, and yeah, Pat's a great addition. He's going to have a good year for us. And then Jerry, yeah, he's really solid. I mean, he's one of the most coachable kids I've ever seen. He'll do his job right every time. And so those two, yeah, I think they'll help us. And then, I think Max Crosby's had a really good spring and summer as well.
Who do you think's really going to get a lot of playing time at linebacker?
If we rolled it out today, we'd start Ike Spearman, who started a couple years ago and has had some injuries. He's one who I didn't come out of the spring real excited about, and had an excellent summer. He's played a lot better here in August. And then Kyle Rockwall, we came out of the spring thinking was gonna be a pretty good football player, and he has. And then we've kind of got a mix of some younger guys. There's a couple guys that have surprised me, so I was pretty concerned about the position as a whole coming in. And it's gotten quite a bit better, and still trying to get Derek Williams, suffered an ankle injury in spring, and has gradually gotten back to where he's getting there. And he left spring as one of our top two, so getting him back in the mix would be really good for us. I think we'll be fine there.
And how's the secondary?
We're getting there. I think that's the place where we're trying to develop the most, and we're probably lowest on depth. But those guys are working hard, and definitely better than it was in the spring, and getting better every day. We've got a couple young guys I think that will help us back there as well. We're counting on a couple freshmen, and they've panned out like we hoped, maybe a little better than we hoped.